Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely flip the script on what makes someone truly magnetic. I mean, we live in a world that is just obsessed with the surface, right? But today, we're stripping all of that away to look at the hidden mechanics behind real attraction and mental strength. If you've ever wondered why some people can just naturally command a room without even saying a word, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Let's get into it.
Notice the stark contrast here. Most people think attraction begins with the face, the clothes, or just hitting the right physical aesthetic. They literally pour all their effort into the illusion. But the harsh truth? You can dress perfectly and still carry this really desperate energy. You can speak confidently, but secretly be begging for approval. And here's the reality. Everyone in the room instinctively feels it when your peace is fake or your confidence is just borrowed. True attraction doesn't come from chasing attention at all. It comes from a calm mind and an unshakable, quiet presence. Okay, let's dive into this because it hits incredibly hard. Neediness has a smell, insecurity has a posture, weakness has a sound. Just think about how our bodies always tell the truth, even when we try our hardest to hide behind borrowed confidence. Your eyes might search the room a little too much, your hands might fidget, or your voice might over-explain things. You really cannot fake a grounded energy. True strength means you don't have to put on a performance for anyone's approval. Section 1. Mastering Emotions and Value. This covers habits 1 and 2 for building internal power. So habit number 1 is to stop reacting so quickly. Be honest and look at your daily life for a second. Someone sends a message, you react. Someone criticizes you, you react. If you live like this, your mood is basically being pulled around like a rope in the hands of strangers. A mentally strong person creates a gap, a space between what happens and how they respond. Because in that space, you decide who you are. The strongest person in the room isn't the loudest, not by a long shot. It's the one who can be provoked and still remain completely steady. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is habit number 2, stop explaining your value. As the saying goes, a diamond does not argue with a person who calls it a stone. So many of us lose our dignity simply because we talk way too much, trying to convince people who are already committed to misunderstanding us. When you keep justifying yourself to someone determined to bring you down, you aren't proving your worth. You're actually lowering your price. Mentally strong people speak their truth with total clarity, and then they just stop.
Which leads us to how truly attractive people handle boundaries. They don't build these massive walls of anger, demanding immediate justice and loudly defending their ego at every turn. Instead, they build doors with locks. This means they manage their boundaries quietly. They let the right people enter with respect while keeping the wrong opinions outside without a single argument. Sometimes the highest form of discipline is literally just letting people think whatever they want while you just keep growing.
Section 2. Disciplining Body and Words. Let's dive into habits 3 and 4. Habit number 3 is about training your body, but actually, scratch that. It's not for the reasons you might think. We aren't talking about training just to look good for attention or to rack up compliments. You train your body because it's the very first home your spirit lives in. If you neglect that home, your mind gets heavy. You do it so laziness doesn't own you. True confidence is built on inner evidence. It's all about keeping promises to yourself when literally nobody is watching. Every time you wake up when you said you would or push through a workout when your excuses are loud, you're building undeniable evidence that you can trust yourself. So the crucial point is how this inner discipline translates into the way we communicate, which brings us to habit 4, becoming rare with your words. Too many people treat their mouths like an open market where anyone can walk in and grab something. They overshare, they gossip, they complain. Before you speak, you've got to run your words through a strict mental filter. Ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it coming from strength or insecurity? A lot of what we say is really just our ego trying to look clever. When you use your words with intention, your silence gains weight and your presence stops being cheap. But I want to pause here for a second and speak directly to you about the flip side of being quiet. Being an attractive, rare communicator definitely means being a great listener, yes, but being a great listener does not mean becoming a dustbin for everyone's emotional garbage. Do not mistake true connection with being a drainage site for other people's endless negativity and chaos. Some people don't actually want a solution, they just want company in their weakness. So listen with compassion, but fiercely protect the deeper rooms of your own mind. Section 3. Controlling Attention and Comfort. Exploring habits 5 and 6. And this brilliantly illustrates habit 5, mastering your attention. Just look at this typical morning timeline, because it's wild. Minute 1, we wake up. Minute 2, we're already reaching for the phone before we even reach for our own mind. By minute 15, we are swimming in the sea of comparison, anger, and other people's highlight reels. By minute 30, our mind feels totally polluted. We are literally giving away our very first breath to strangers. Your attention is your life. Mentally strong people protect it like a sacred flame because they know if you feed your mind with cheap distractions, you will never, ever have depth.
Moving right along to habit number 6, stop needing comfort all the time. Remember this, comfort is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master. We live in a society that's been severely weakened by convenience. People just collapse at the first sign of boredom or rejection or criticism. But wanting a powerful life requires a powerful nervous system, and you only build that by doing difficult things without running away. Attractive people aren't attractive because their lives are easy. They're magnetic because they've learned how to carry heavy weights without making everyone else responsible for it.
Section 4. Purpose over mood. We have finally arrived at habit 7.
So ordinary people tend to have a loyalty to mood. It's incredibly unstable. It changes with the weather, how much sleep they got, or just random opinions from others. They wait around for motivation, which essentially means their life has no reliable direction. Mentally strong people, on the other hand, have a loyalty to purpose. They create non-negotiable structures. They never wake up and ask, do I feel like doing this today? Purpose is the house they live in. And their feelings? Well, those are just temporary visitors passing through.
So how does purpose actually navigate all those daily obstacles? When a purpose-driven person is tired, they might do a smaller version of their task, but they absolutely do not disappear. When they're afraid, they take one single step forward rather than just freezing in place. And when they get criticized, they extract whatever is useful and immediately release the poison. A highly trained person relies on purpose to say no to distractions, no to bad habits, and no to empty entertainment. They aren't available for everything, which is exactly what gives them that grounded, incredibly rare energy. Section 5. Roots of true magnetism. Let's move to and see how this builds into our final metaphor of the tree. Think of true attraction like a giant tree. The branches are your appearance, your style, your charm, your success. That's the stuff everyone instantly sees and admires. But listen, a tree doesn't stand tall just because it wants to touch the sky. It stands tall because of the roots. The roots are your discipline, your silence, your emotional control. They are quiet, completely unglamorous, and largely invisible to the outside world. But without these deep roots, the branches are nothing more than fragile decorations, just waiting to snap off in the very next storm.
Which leaves us with this final, essential question. Are you building roots, or are you just decorating branches? Take a real moment to think about that. Is your attractiveness just surface-level entertainment, or is it grounded in real, unshakable depth? The choice is entirely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope it helps you cultivate the quiet, magnetic strength you deserve.